This is Lisa Jo Davis. Lisa Jo Davis is an empath and an intuitive who channels the Archangels and the Ascended Masters. As a time heals practitioner, she works with the energy of the chakras. As an advocate for spiritual growth, Lisa Jo offers educational classes like hosting the Archangels, as well as private healing sessions, which I have had and are great. And she has been shown by the angelic and fairy realms to create jewelry that inspires, beautiful pieces that are blessed before leaving her beautiful hands. Welcome, Lisa Jo.
Thank you for having me, Sherry.
Hello, darling.
Yay.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And I just love the backdrop. You just, oh my goodness. I hope somebody takes a photo of this because it's just so beautiful. You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel great.
Yeah, good for you.
Good.
And Lisa, we're going to, in order to just kind of launch this whole thing, I'm going to share your prayer because it's an absolutely beautiful prayer.
Dear angels, help me anchor into God's divine light for complete healing of my body. Please help me and give me comfort as I direct your healing energies into my body. Give me the tools and the strength to wake up every morning and face the day, even though it may be painful. I am cleansing my body through this prayer. I am ready for complete healing.
Oh, Lisa, that is a beautiful prayer. What inspired you?
What inspired me to do that particular prayer was I was personally going through a lot of painful experiences and stuff. I had a lot of health issues, and I had scar tissue removed that was causing me some really bad discomfort. And the only way that after I was released from the hospital and I got home, it's really easy for you to kind of pity in yourself. It's easy to kind of get wrapped up in those emotions and stuff. But you basically, to get healed, you have to, of course, listen to what your doctor is telling you. But I decided to do some self-healing on myself. And the way that, because every morning I would wake up with a lot of pain, and I would pray that exact prayer to ask for the angels to come in and give me the strength to just make it through the day. And, you're going to have good days and not so good days, but it's directing that light and that energy and the healing into your life. It's almost it is an invitation to welcome all of that into your life. And once you have asked for that, you can't help but to receive it.
You can't help but receive it. Now, that's just so interesting because people who do not work do not work with the angels or have yet to work with the angels, what are the things that get in our way to receiving that?
It's our ego, ourselves. When I first started listening to the angels and stuff, and my gifts kind of came after I had this near-death experience in 2014. And after that, I started hearing, the angels and stuff. But the bottom line is you can get out of your own way. It's like I would receive messages and I would think, okay, well, that's in my own mind. It's in my own voice, so I can't possibly be receiving a message. Mm-hmm. But then if you kind of just think about it and ask for confirmations, you will get confirmations that the message you received is correct. It may be a song you hear. You may overhear somebody have a conversation. You may open a book and read something, music, just all different ways of receiving that message and the confirmation. You may find feathers or pennies. You just may feel an overwhelming sense of love around you. And then you just know in your heart that it's true.
Lisa, You did mention, you just kind of mentioned that you had a near-death experience. Now, I really think, it's incredibly dramatic and it's amazing. And we've discussed this before on our interview,
Yes.
on how to connect with angels, but would you be willing to talk about that now?
I'll give you the short version of it.
Yeah. Yes, please.
So, I was taken away in an ambulance. And on the way there, my blood pressure dropped.
You were in an ambulance.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was from home. I called the ambulance because I just had extreme amount of pain, and there was no denying that I needed, a lot of help. And so my husband called 911. The ambulance came, and on the way to the hospital, my blood pressure dropped, and they almost lost me in the ambulance. So they took me to the nearest hospital. And while I was in the hospital room, where they were, trying to take care of me and everything, I just prayed, God, help me, Jesus, help me, Archangel Michael, help me, Archangel Raphael, help me. And all of a sudden, I hear in my ear that everything is going to be okay. And this was not in my voice. This was in a man's voice. And the funny thing about it is there was no man in that room. There was only women in the room. Mm-hmm. So there was no coincidence there that there could have, that I was hearing a man just tell me it was okay. But after I heard everything was going to be okay, I had like tingles over my body and a sense of peace. And even though everything was scary that I had went through during the process, it turned out that I had internal bleeding, and they couldn't stop it. It was just in a place where they couldn't do exploratory surgery or go in to help it. So, they watched me in the hospital, for a few days. And after the bleeding kind of slowed down, they just sent me home. And then after that, I started seeing, flashing lights and in my bedroom and, sparks on my fingers. And I just knew that there was going to be a process. And I was told that I was going to start healing, people. And I'm like, okay, and then it's just.
This was not in your.
No. Never. I've always been spiritual. I was baptized and everything like that. So I've always been spiritual, but no, I would have never thought I would be here doing this. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love meeting new people and everything. So,
well, now, so you had the near-death experience, and maybe it doesn't really matter. Could it have been your guardian angel? Do you have a sense of
actually, I do feel like it was Archangel Michael, because after I said Archangel Michael, I heard, everything's going to be okay. So he is one of my protecting archangels. He's with me all the time, never leaves me. And I do work one-on-one with some of the archangels. I think when you tend to work in this business, if you want to call it a business, I hate to use that label because it's not so much of it is a business, but
calling.
Thank you. It is a calling. And I think you'll have certain masters or angels that will tend to want to work, with you. Mm-hmm. And some people are very lucky and they have many angels, and then some people, just have a few. So.
No, but Lisa, when you were, back in that point where you had a near-death experience, you were already calling the angels, but because you just had an affinity with them. But then you really started to train, and you've done some pretty incredible work. Time heals. Now, which modality are you working? Do you bring it all in when you're working with someone? I mean, you did a healing with me, which was
the time heals. Yeah,
it was a time heals.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
well,
talk to
I think I did two of, yeah, I did two. One was the time heals, which I'm a master teacher, and Terry Miller taught me, and she's my mentor. And she, she taught me that. And then I had been trained in some other type of modalities, just because I felt like, okay, I needed something behind my name to kind of give me credit, and I already though had an idea of what I was supposed to be doing, but with different types of formal different trainings, it allowed me to kind of come into my own. And I developed a program called Sacred Heart Fire healings, and I love it. It was brought to me during the time when I wasn't very healthy, and I had a lot of time where I was healing, and I just needed to do all of that. And each day I would get a little bit of a download, is what I call, and I would write it down on my paper. And it's really what I do is I go in and I meet with each person individually, and we do some discussions, and I give like a little worksheet to fill in some blanks of, how you're feeling and maybe words that you use on yourself. I go in and I clear check out your auras and the chakras. I do belief work on words that you may use towards yourself. Like you may say, that was a stupid thing to do. Well, let's cut out the stupid thing. That was a silly thing you do. Everybody does silly things. So that kind of negative talk, we want to get rid of. And we, during the meditation, I record everything and do a custom meditation for each person. And as I'm going through this, I empower them with positive words that they can use and hear. And the neat thing about the meditation is I take you into a cave, and every time, and you're able to ask 3 questions within your mind while you're in the meditation. And so you get the meditation as part of, the program, and you get to keep it, and you can listen to it over and over. So when you're listening to that particular meditation, you may be greeted at the cave by Jesus. You may be greeted by the entrance of the cave by a loved one. And then your questions can continuously change. Like the first time you might ask 3 questions, and maybe next time you listen to that meditation, you can ask 3 different questions, and you'll get the answers within your mind.
Beautiful. And that is called the Sacred Heart Fire Meditation.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
So how somebody works with you is what they go to your website and they book a time, and then you communicate and talk.
Well, the best way to do is just is go to my website, and that's healinglightwithlisajo.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Healing Light with Lisa Jo, and just send me a message. And I'm also offering 10 minutes of free consultation to see if it's something that that I want to work with you and you want to work with me. So you can always go on my website and, send me a message, and you can send that, set that up and talk on the phone or on Skype. And if everything, I can answer a couple of questions. And then if you find that I'm a good fit, then we will book an appointment, and then I'll send you the link and everything like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What a really wonderful thing. So Healing Light with Lisa Jo is the website, and where we can go in and we can book a 10-minute consult to just tune to God.
Yeah.
Because when people have issues, sometimes they just need to feel comfortable that they're talking to somebody, and they're not going to be judged, and they're not going to be, and that kind of thing, because we know there's none of that with you.
Well, the thing is, you just want to make sure that whoever you're working with, whether it's me or somebody else, that you talk with them a little bit beforehand, and, ask yourself within your heart if this is a good person to work with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think you might want to work with someone, and then you start working with them, and then you kind of realize it's not, someone that I really wanted to work with. And no one likes to waste their own time or their money. And so it's very important that, you know, you go within and ask if that person is a good match for you.
That's wonderful.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you, darling. This is the point in our show where we take a little break just to show people about our Alexa,
Oh,
about MyAngelPrayer. Folks, Alexa, our skill. Thank you. Do you have it?
I have it on my cell phone.
Oh, cool.
I didn't think I could do it, but as old as I am.
Well, you did.
I'm over 55, and I'll leave it at that. Way over 55. But if I can do it, you can do it. And I just went to the Play Store and looked up Alexis and downloaded it. So, yes. I don't have it yet, but I will.
Now, you can go to the Play Store, or you can go to our website, which is MyAngelPrayer.com. And we've got the steps for downloading Alexa and then for enabling MyAngelPrayer. And it's like, it's really big, it's really clear, it's really easy. And once you've got it on your device, of course, is a wonderful thing. But if you have it on your phone, it's just so easy, and it's really a wonderful thing. So here it is, like on my phone, just like Lisa's, and you download it on your phone, and then when you feel like it's time for a prayer, time to take a minute to yourself, you press this little blue button and you say, Alexa, MyAngelPrayer, and a prayer will come up. And if you are really would like to get a focused prayer on some of the issues like abundance, protection, guidance, love, healing, we have a small subscription fee. It's less than $3 a month, and you can access 100 prayers with all of these amazing people who have contributed. So we really are here to offer you a connection to the angels, and that's part of Lisa Jo, part of what you do that I really love. You do the Sacred Souls alignment, right?
Correct.
Do you want to talk about that? Because I don't think we've covered that quite, have we?
Sacred soul alignments, I'm a practitioner, and it has to do with your ancestors and creating kind of like a new type of timeline. You know, it's when you do the sacred soul alignments, you're actually, there's over 150 different alignments that can be done. And when you do that, you actually are clearing for yourself. So let's say that you're asking for an abundance. You could, when this sacred soul alignment has been downloaded to you or the client, then you're actually accepting it for yourself, but you actually are accepting it for all of your ancestors, all of your family. So you're actually clearing for yourself and bringing that in for yourself, bringing that in for your own family. And you say, well, why for my ancestors? Well, why not? You know, why not give that to them too, you know, and that clears up that kind of clears up your ancestral. So it's a wonderful type of thing to do. There's disconnecting from vows and contracts that maybe in a previous life you may have been a nun or a priest, you know, that you made contracts and vows with, and maybe in this lifetime you feel constricted, you know, in any type of religion. You know, you can't branch out because, and you don't know why. That could be a reason. It could just be you just need to, you know, clear that contract and those vows to allow you the freedom to move forward.
Wow. What a wonderful, I mean, what an incredibly creative thing to do as well. What I love is that what you do is it brings the imagination, which is our, you know, that's our intuition, our imagination. It brings that together and gives it power. You know, one of the things that you have, which I really adore, is hosting the Archangels.
Yes.
And it's a Facebook group, correct? Hosting the Archangels. It's called Hosting the Archangels. Is that it?
That's it. Just Hosting the Archangels.
I have done it myself. I have had one of my dearest friends in the world, just when she was looking for a place to buy, had Hosting the Archangels, and she was able to make that work,
Wow.
and
That's
had
wonderful.
felt the Archangels, felt the presence of the Archangels. Now, back to you. What is it? Hosting the Archangels.
Hosting the Archangels, which is on Facebook. It's a group and anybody can join. It is a closed group, but it's a ceremony. Some people call it a ritual. I kind of call it just a ceremony, and it's kind of a celebration of the Archangels. When I personally did it to thank them for being with me when I went through my near-death experience. And I was kind of led to start the group, and I did. But basically, the instructions are located in the group and more information's there. But what you do is you do kind of a prayer where you invite the Archangels into your home, and they'll be there for 5 days. And part of the ritual or the ceremony is you have an apple that you're going to eat at the end of the ceremony, 1 flower, and it needs to be a white flower, and 1 candle. And then you make your 3 wishes. And the 1 wish is for the earth, 1 is for yourself, and 1 is for your family.
Nice.
And then what you do is you make a little altar with those items. Mm-hmm. And then at 10:30 at night, there's a little prayer that you do, or a little saying that you do, where you just ask them to come into your house. And it's Archangel Raphael and Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Ariel, and Archangel Metatron. And you just hold the door open and allow them to come in. And you can every experience is going to be different. It's not the same, but you can actually feel them coming in and their energy.
I remember this energy. It brings this energy, powerful energy, and it's just so delightful. It's so delightful. It's so empowering. I'm going to say magical, and I don't, and I mean that in the best sense of, like, there's something extra that's in your life, and so, Lisa, you have so much to offer. You bring so much to this planet and to people, and I'm so grateful you're part of My Angel Prayer. I'm so grateful you're part of it today.
For more free angel prayers, simply enable My Angel Prayer on your Alexa. If you don't have an Alexa device, no worries. You can go to MyAngelPrayer.com for easy-peasy directions on uploading Alexa and My Angel Prayer onto your smartphone. My Angel Prayer. It takes less than a minute to shift your entire day.